Haha! Do you feel lucky? Punk. Well, do ya? Hey everyone, it's Bill Duran here from Punished Props, and I've got some quick tips for you on fixing up your convention damaged props. I've been wearing my Mass Effect costume for a couple of years now and dragging these pieces with me the whole time, and they got banged up a little bit. And it just happens. They get thrown in luggage, they get dragged around, they get handed to people, they get zip ties put around them when they, do their weapon check thing. The long and the short of it is, they needed some touching up. Now, when I originally built these, I painted them to look a little bit beat up. So I'm gonna paint them again a little bit to make them look even more beat up, only they're really beat up. For starters, I gave them a quick look over to see wherever there was raw material showing through. A lot of times the edges and corners would wear all the way down to the plastic below. Now, this may not be entirely necessary, but I decided to paint a little bit of primer on those areas. In this case, I just sprayed a little bit of spray paint primer into a cup and brushed it on with the normal brush. I let that dry overnight, and then it was damage time. I went over most of the areas that needed some fixing up with a little bit of black paint. My plan was to go over that again with silver paint and leave a little bit of black showing to give it a little depth. Also, some of the areas are legitimately damaged, like pieces of plastic are missing. Like this corner of the gun where I dropped it on a sidewalk in New York City. It's kind of beat up. So I put some extra black paint in there to make it look grimy and dirty and have a little more depth. Once the black paint was all dry, I went over everything again with some silver paint. I like using Rub 'n Buff's Silver Leaf for this because it goes on really fast and really thick, and it dries super fast as well. Plus, it's super shiny and looks really nice. I used a variety of brushes here, including a normal brush that I cut to have shorter bristles. Also, I used a Q-tip, both the fuzzy end of the Q-tip, and I cut the end off of the Q-tip to have a pokey part that I also used as a brush to get some more detailed areas. So I went over my gun with that silver paint until all of the damaged areas were nice and cleaned up, only they look more damaged, until I was satisfied with the look. I also took the opportunity to dirty up the gun a little bit. I figured since it's actually damaged some more, it should look even dirtier. So I tried out some new weathering powders that I picked up at the hobby store. Finally, I gave my gun a nice clear coat. You could use a rattle can if you want, but I chose to go with a flat lacquer in my airbrush. And voila, my gun is nice and old again. Now this might get banged up again. I'm not sure how many more times I'm going to take this to a convention, so I may have to do it again. But overall, I think it looks super neat and has way more character than before. I hope these tips help you guys fix up your battle damaged props from convention season this year. Do you have any techniques that you like to use? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, feel free to check out some of the other videos I've been working on recently. And if you're new, then totally subscribe because I do this sort of stuff all the time. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.